Well, I think it's more than Elliott, and it's more than Alonso. It's also Dan Zagers. It's also Jimmy Noel, Matt Donahoe. Um, it's very rare you get a chance to add caliber of these types of men to an organization in January like this. I think that what they bring here is expertise. They understand the system that we're about to use here. So you can't have enough of those types of guys understanding the system and developing and moving forward. I'm excited to have them. And again, anytime you can add quality people to an organization to get this thing moving, it's a good thing.
What's the process been like with you guys all coming together, the old members of the staff and everything, and the new guys coming together?
Actually, you know what? It's been really good. It's been a lot of communication, a lot of collaborative effort, a lot of strategic planning, just to kind of make sure we get everything in line as we move forward to the start of the league year in 2018. And so far, it's gone along really well. I mean, the communication has been great, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
What 3 weeks or so since the season ended? What have you guys gotten accomplished as far as draft free agency? I mean, have you come down the road to a certain point?
Well, it's what you're doing is we've had really good discussions in terms of unrestricted free agency. I'd say for 10 or 12 days. I can't thank the pro personnel staff enough, and also be lucky to have like Andrew Berry, as Andrew sits in that. In those meetings too, and just to hear his discussions, and I think the world of Andrew. I think from that standpoint, they understand who I am. The communication part of it with the head coaches, understanding the team evaluation at the end of the season, getting their take on the evaluations, getting the personnel's evaluation of the team, that helps in moving that plan forward to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. And then of course you're going to sit down with ownership and explain to him where we are in this process, and just lay some examples out for them. This may happen, this may not happen.
Can you characterize how aggressive we can expect you to be in free agency? I mean, with about $100 million in salary cap space, it's almost unheard of.
No, it's a good position to have. One of the attractiveness. Not only the attractiveness of the fan base and the Cleveland Browns organization, but also the assets were in place when I got here. The assets being in the draft itself and the draft picks, as well as the $100 million cap space. In terms of aggressiveness, I'm going to be very prudent. I'm going to be very smart about this thing. I'm going to try to get guys that love football, that are going to help us understand what it takes. We're going to get real football players, and we'll find those guys in every different silo we possibly can. So I'm going to explore all options here and just try to get the best players I possibly can.
John, there was a reporting, maybe you can clear this up for us if it wasn't true, that I think it was Tony Pauline had reported, a draft analyst reported, that you had said that you did not like Josh Rosen, and that's kind of floating around out there. Is that true?
Well, I mean, it's fake news because, first off, I've never talked to the kid. I've never talked to anybody about the kid. I think if you remember right, I was unemployed a couple weeks ago, and I'm finally back in this thing. That's fake news to me.
John, we've seen it before with Elway and Eli Manning, where a quarterback comes out and says he doesn't want to be picked by a certain team at #1 overall, and that's tied to Rosen right now.
Yeah.
How do you view that situation?
Well, I've never had as the combine moves along, as we get closer into this process, I'll get a chance to talk with him, and then he'll be able to get a chance to talk with us and talk. At the end of the day, is he a good player? Yeah, those things don't bother me because they usually take care of themselves. You know what? Let's talk like grown men and see what happens.
So you think that you could change his mind?
No, I'm just saying that stuff doesn't bother me.
It wouldn't prevent you from drafting him, or
that's a hypothetical because
TBD.
I always take the best available player, but if it was there, and if we as an organization felt comfortable that we were going to select him, we'd select him. That's how that works.
So is it fair to?
Ladies first.
Can you talk about Josh Allen, and what are you looking forward to seeing throughout these next 3 days as you watch Josh Allen?
Well, I think it'll be fun. Just to, it'd be my first time that I didn't get a chance to see him play live. I actually saw Baker Mayfield play live, so that'll be fun to see him again. But anytime you can get in an environment like the Senior Bowl and watch them work and watch them grow and develop, it's fun. And then you'll see certain things that people have talked about and other things that may or may not stand out. But, it's exciting.
Is veteran quarterback at or near the top of the list of things you'd like to do when you get the chance to do it?
Well, I consider all options, and I always will as we move forward here.
How about this, then? Do you have to go beyond, say, plan A, plan B, plan C, and preparing for all this, given the guys that may or may not be available?
I think the one thing you'll find out about me, Zach, is I try to plan through everything, and I will do that as this plan moves forward.
Whether a guy's 20 years old or has been in the league for 10 years, what do you value most in a quarterback?
Do they win? Do they have the physical skills necessary to play that position? Do they have a strong arm? Do they have deep ball accuracy? Do they have feet? Can they extend the play? Are they a leader of men? I mean, we could go on and on and on, but at the end of the day, it's about winning.
John, the opposite of Rosen, when a guy like Josh Allen and Sam Darnold, both of them come out and say, hey, I want to be the guy that turns this thing around for the Browns. I want to be that guy. And I'm asking you because with quarterback, there's a face of the franchise element there, and you want that guy to embrace that challenge. So does that resonate with you and guys?
I love guys that accept the challenge. I think, this great game of football is about challenges every day. And guys that are competitive and love to play the game of football and love their teammates, I mean, you can't have enough of those guys on your team. That's how I look at it.
What stood out to you about Baker when you watched him live, and what can he do this week to maybe?
Well, he made the fans of Kansas upset. I can tell you that.
You were there that day?
I was. I mean, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. I think that speaks for itself. I think he's had a wonderful season. Kind of where he came from and how he's gotten to where he is today. I think that's a tribute to him and the Oklahoma Sooner organization, the coaching staff there. So it's just be fun to watch him participate here this week.
Then he's 3 years older than some of the other guys. Does that mean anything to you?
No, not at all.
John, as you head into this, I think most people seem to think that Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen are right up there, 1 and 2, and then at this point at least, it seems that, like a Josh Allen and a Baker Mayfield aren't quite at that level.
She's already set the board. She's already stacked them, 1, 2, 3, 4.
How do you view sort of these 4 guys, and what is your mindset heading in terms of those 4 guys, and where you might have them ranked, or how they could shake out this week, or where do they stand?
Well, in 2013, I had the first pick of the draft for the Kansas City Chiefs, and there really wasn't a quarterback prospect there. Actually, in this class, there are 4 or 5 prospects in this class to make you think, at least, are they worthy of that position? So now I think what you do is you let the process unfold. I think you get to know each and every one of the prospects we talk about, and then I think, we're months away from this process. We're at the beginning stages. Let's understand who they are as people. Let's understand them as football players. Let's see if they can be the face of the franchise, as Nate said. Are they the guys for the Cleveland Browns? That's how I look at this.
John, do you have obviously it is so early, but I saw Bruce Arians, a quote from Bruce Arians said this might be the best quarterback class in 20 years. Does it stand out that way? Is that strong in the early going?
I don't know if it's strong. I think what happens is I see this thing unfold is, starting at a young age, you're seeing the development of quarterbacks as they go through Pee Wee, the high school, to the college ranks. So they're more prepared or more developed to get ready for this game. So I think that probably speaks for the overall system as they grow and mature and get older. And there's probably outliers in there that sometimes are late bloomers. But do I think it's a good class? I do.
A couple more. Do you do any setting of the board until you meet the guys?
I don't know what that means.
Like, we're talking about, do you have an order in mind until you actually meet?
Well, we plan and we get prepared, and we try to be as thorough and detailed as we possibly can. but I think the draft is not until late April, so we're building pretty good right now.
Is it safe to say that you will stay at number 1, and is it also safe to say that you will take a quarterback at number 1?
Safe to say, you never know.
Open for business.
Joe Thomas, we saw him last week.
Yeah.
The Sports Wars. He said he hasn't made a decision. Where are you guys with that and planning either way? I mean, do you have to be in the mindset of you're searching for his heir, or is that the way you have to approach it? Or?
Well, first let's talk about Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas is a heck of a man, a heck of a football player. I think the Cleveland Browns fans should all be, I think Joe Thomas is a Hall of Famer myself for what he's done. I've had nice discussions with Joe, and part of being a general manager is also planning for the future if that were to happen. So you always think about that, but you also hope that, you know what, Joe Thomas is a great football player, and I can't wait to be around him some more.
Did you kind of express why don't you give it another year with us?
We just talk like two guys from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Will you meet with the two quarterbacks here? I mean, the two top quarterbacks here, Josh Allen and Baker?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Why wouldn't I? I'm going to do my work.
With Baker, I hear this every day, and it's being in Cleveland, talking about the Browns, dealing with the Browns every day. Everybody in Cleveland, when it comes to the fan base, says he's Johnny Manziel. He's Johnny Manziel. He's Johnny Manziel. You hear it all the time. Is that something he has to overcome?
I think I'll be honest with you, I think it's a narrative you guys have created. We'll see. I haven't really met him. I don't know who he is as a person. I think after I do meet him, I'll be able to find out what's deep inside him, and I'll just see what makes him click. And that's what part of the process is.
So this is an important event for him in that way, right?
I think it's all. I mean, the Senior Bowl is the #1 All-Star game. I think Phil Savage does a great job running this thing. And if I was a young man who wanted to show my wares to people in the National Football League, why wouldn't you participate? And I applaud him for participating in something like this.
Can a guy like a Josh Allen come in here? We talked to him extensively today, and he said over and over.
Nice kid, isn't he?
Really nice kid. And he wants you guys to walk away from him and say, yeah, we got to think about him with our #1 pick. Do you think that's possible, that you'll walk away from here thinking there's no way we can not consider him as one of the guys?
Who knows? I mean, when I walk away from here, you're going to say something about me. Who knows? Let's meet him first, and let's see how it unfolds. And does he fit in the long-term plans of this organization? Those are the things you have to think through in the early stages of the process. But do I want to meet him as a person to see? Yeah, I do.
John, when you were here last year, what stood out to you about a guy like, what did Kareem Hunt do here last year that made you come away from here knowing this is a guy that could really be?
He showed he belonged. He showed that he was the best running back at the Senior Bowl that week. He showed explosiveness. He showed contact balance. He showed hands out of the backfield. He shows all the qualities that he displayed in the 2017 season. And, that's what I walked away with.
Last one here, we got to roll.
Hey, John, you mentioned Andrew Berry earlier.
Yeah.
Paul DePodesta is obviously the other, big name who's coming back to the organization. And I know, you've said that 85 Atlanta Braves, 15 Oakland Athletics.
You don't like that analogy?
I like it.
Oh, okay.
But is that 15%? Is that enough for him to really make an impact? I mean, have you kind of gotten an idea of what he does, and is he going to be a big part of what you do? Does it fit you?
Now, Paul and I have had a lot of healthy discussions, and we've talked about a lot of things. And I just want to try to understand the processes that he's trying to achieve from the analytics thing. I think our relationship is growing day in and day out. As we move forward, I can't wait for some of his strategic thinking that he comes up with, and I think he's really good in that regard. So, right now it's been really good.